So today we're going to have a quick look at the GCM switchback wheel. This is a 1.9 inch rim. It's a beadlock style, and we're going to show the setup of the switchback wheel on the front of an RC four-wheel drive and the rear of an axial axle, just to show the different types of setups that you can use. Each of the wheel sets comes with the rotor included. This is a 5-bolt rotor, and it drives with the pin on the axle already in the rotor, so there's no need for a hex with these. And as you can see, they're really thin, so it's really easy to get a narrow offset. Now these are a very unique wheel because, as you will see, this wheel has multiple components in it. So there's a beadlock ring which you will fit inside the tire. This just simply squishes into your tire like this, and you put it right inside there. Make sure that your foam's not caught into it. And there you go, that's all you do for the inside. And that's going to lock the inside of the tire when the beadlock is compressed from the outside with the outside bolts. So the beadlock ring goes inside the tire, and then you can choose to assemble the beadlock in 3 different ways. This red ring, as you see, is the center section. There's also one shown in here in silver. And because it's machined aluminum, we anodized them in a variety of different colors. So we're going to use this red one as an example. So on this wheel, we have the face of the wheel here with the bolts on the outside, and there is no bolt head on the inside. The screws go straight through the entire thing into the other side of the wheel. So this one, we have the outside ring here, and then we have the first mid ring up to here, and then we have the second mid ring to here. Then we have the wheel center, and then the inside ring of the wheel. So you can see there's multiple offsets here, because you can set the center section here at the far inside, or you could set the center section here and use the mid ring there and a mid ring here, or you could set the center section all the way to the front and then have the outside ring and the center ring here instead of here, and that would give you an offset like this. So there's a whole bunch of different options. I mean, you can have it as deep as this, or you can have it as far out as this, and that gives you a whole bunch of different ways of setting the wheelbase up on the truck without actually changing the position, because the rotor, as you'll see in a minute, the rotor goes right behind the wheel center like this. So with the rotor bolted to the wheel center, and then the center being adjustable on there, you could end up with having the rotor position here, or the rotor position here, or the rotor position here, and all of those options are available in the same wheel. So that's why the switchback is so unique, because you can actually set the wheel offset. So if you want a little bit of a deeper dish, you want to bring the tire out a little bit on the truck, then it's super easy to do. You can simply rearrange the way that the wheel is assembled on the inside, and then you can change the offset without changing the position of the axle at all. So we're going to show a couple of setups here just real quick. First of all, we're going to install the pin here on the rear of the axial, and then this rotor is just simply going to go over top of the pin like this. And unlike some of the competition, the rotor doesn't bind on the axle when you install it on the pin. Now that this is installed, we're going to just drop the wheel on here like this and line it up with the 5 screws. We'll just install one here so that we can keep it from all falling apart. And we'll get that screw installed there. It's as simple as that. All the hex hardware is included in the kit. So as you can see, we've got there's 4 more that have to go on, but for argument's sake, we'll just show the offset here. From the inside, you can tell that the axial axle is definitely far in. I mean, we're with a flat iron, we've got the rim spacing about 3/8 of an inch away from the screw here. So the total width of the switchbacks from outside to outside is 8 1/4 inches. So from the actual outside of the rim, on the other side, the actual outside of the rim, that's 8 1/4 inches when they're set as far in as they can go. Now, just to show that this can be used with this huge maximum offset, we're going to show this can be used also on an RC four-wheel drive. So we're going to just take a K44 axle here and drop a pin in there and grab our wheel set. We'll drop our wheel set right on there, and there, that's driven on the pin. And you can see there that there's lots of lots of clearance for the steering arm, and we got no problems with that at all. And that's on the absolute minimum offset. So considering this axle is more narrow than the axial, you can really bring the wheels in for a tiny body. And being at 1.9, that gives you a scale sort of 19-inch wheel. If you're doing a big off-road truck, you can put a small diameter tire on there and have a great look. And it fits well with the narrow axles. The same is true with the axial axle. The rotor can go right on the axial axle, and there's clearance for it, and you just assemble it and away you go. So that's an introduction to the GCM switchback wheel. Variable offset 1.9 beadlock, and it includes all the hex hardware as well as a fully machined pin drive rotor, and the complete kit is available at gcmachine.ca.